This is Budget Wax, and you're tuned into Jam Hot Radio.
Hey guys, welcome back to Jam Hot Radio. I'm so happy to be here today with Budget Wax. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yes, so let's jump right in. I'm going to ask a question I ask everyone, and that is, if you could choose just one, if you have more than one, I get it, an album that everybody should have in their collection.
I guess I'd have to go with a Neil Young. He's been like my longtime favorite
Okay.
since I really got into music. Probably After the Gold Rush, I guess, is like my go-to Neil Young. I love After the Gold Rush.
Any Neil Young, I feel like you can't go wrong.
Yeah, there's something about it. I don't really know what to say about it. It's not polished, but it's very Neil Young.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind. There's
Yeah.
never been a Neil Young. There probably will never be a Neil Young.
Yeah.
He's Neil.
Love it.
And that's the best.
Okay. All right. I love that answer. Okay. So what came first for you, beat making or sound engineering? How did you kind of come about both of those?
Sound engineering, I guess. I started out as like any kid with a guitar, playing in your room, you know.
I do. I feel like that is how a lot of stories start.
Yeah.
I got a guitar for Christmas one year.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I got a guitar for Christmas one year, and you learn it in your room. You play. You try to get in the band thing. The band thing didn't gel for me too well. I kind of enjoyed like the songwriting aspect of things, and eventually the guy I took guitar lessons from, he said he was in a band and he needed a sound guy for a gig, and he had me come in and run sound for his gig at the local VFW or whatever
That's
it was.
awesome.
And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
My school offers music studio classes for juniors and seniors. I took both years of that.
So you kind of started back in high school then?
Yeah, it was just like garage band and a MIDI keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And they teach you how to record like radio shows, commercials, how to, just use MIDI keyboards and mixers and basic stuff.
Right.
And so after high school, I pursued that, moved to Nashville, went to audio school down there, and I just fell in love with the audio engineering thing. Mm-hmm. It's like being in the band without all the attention of people looking at you, which is like not my strong suit.
Right.
And we had an assignment in sound school. In this class I had, it was called Urban Audio Production, where you learn all about sampling, beat making. And I turned in my final project for that class, and it was like received really well by my professors and everybody in my class. I had a lot of fun doing it, and after that I was like, oh man, this is
what I like.
It's a whole new thing, it just developed for me, and I'm doing it ever since. It's just like kind of a hobby, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where does the name Budget Wax come from?
Basically being a college kid, realizing that, all your favorite rap records were made off of classic soul records. Mm-hmm. But you go, you look for those classic soul breaks now, and people are hip to it with Discogs and things. Mm-hmm. So those records aren't that cheap anymore. So I find myself digging in the dollar bins, the 50-cent bins, the Budget Wax, basically. And I was like, when I first started out, I was just getting whatever was cheap. Mm-hmm. I would sample anything that came from the classical section or the soundtracks or just whatever, Yeah.
I think that's also kind of a fun way to build a record collection too. Yeah. I love my ever-growing record collection, but when you don't know where to start, sometimes it is half the adventure is digging through those dollar bins and finding like a 50-cent record that is like has a really cool cover and happens to also be really good.
Right.
And you can kind of expand your musical palette that way, I feel like.
And they're not organized by anything other than price.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes you go and you're like, this is the country section.
Right.
And they're alphabetical. Mm-hmm. So you sit there all day and like through the A's,
right.
Then the B's.
Yeah.
This way it's just, who knows?
You get what you get.
Whatever's 50 cents is what you get, you know? And it's a good way to
it's fun.
Deter yourself.
Yeah, because I feel like I can imagine when you go into a record store, or anyone really, I try to go with like an idea in mind of what I want, and I never really get that. I usually branch out and get something completely different. But yeah, okay, that's cool. I love that. Budget Wax. Cool. Okay, so tell me about Country Fried Two-Piece.
Country Fried Two-Piece
And congratulations on your marriage, by the
Thank
way.
you very much. Country Fried Two-Piece is a thing that kind of started as a joke. Working here at Tellus doing sound, we used to have an event called Western Wednesdays.
I do
So we
remember
had
that.
a country band every Wednesday night. Well, one night, short notice, Western band canceled. And I told my boss, I said, hey, I got country records at home. If you just want me to come down and DJ country records, me and my then girlfriend, now wife, Steph, I was like, we have plenty of country records. We can come down and we'll play country records for 2 hours. It's easy. And we promoted it, and people came out. They dressed up, like we dressed up.
I do
We
remember
had
that.
so
you
much
people
fun.
out and like decked out.
And it was crazy. These country fans, usually talk to people and they're like, what music do you listen to? And they say, anything but country.
Yes.
But those people all showed up out of the woodwork.
Like, here's a real country
We were
band.
like, yeah. And we were like, oh, here they are. Like, there is a
Yeah.
community for this. And we
Right.
both love it. She grew up with a family full of country musicians.
Oh,
So
cool.
she's always grew up around it. And we just started doing it to fill in a time slot.
Yeah.
And we just had so much fun with it. We were like, we got to keep doing this. This is
Yeah.
so much fun.
Aw,
And there's
that's
not like
great.
you don't hear many country DJs.
No,
really. There's just
I-
it doesn't.
I literally, when I saw you guys promoting for it for a
Yeah.
while, I was like, wait, so they play country records
Yeah.
on vinyl. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so, and I will be the first to admit, I'm not really a huge, I grew up
Yeah.
in the South, I was born in the South, have respect for country music, but I don't really, I listen to very minimal, but that's fun.
It's country music.
And it's a different kind of scene, I feel like,
Yeah.
than what you're used to being around or seeing in a normal like DJ atmosphere.
It's fun because it's like when you're someone like me. Like I live in the city. I work in the city. The country fans aren't exactly around, but you figure right around us,
They're not far.
it's all country
Yeah,
people, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. That's what you got.
and there's a ton of fans. It's great stuff. Country musicians are some of the top as far as musicians go.
Mhm.
They're some of the best. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Songwriting, when we go back to Neil Young and things like that, like he was covering country songs. Like some of
Right.
my favorite stuff as a kid, the Beatles, they cover Buck Owens. Neil
Mhm.
Young's covering Don Williams.
Right.
You start to realize these people's influences and you're like, it comes back to country,
Yeah.
man. Like it's
It always goes back to country and soul or gospel. That people draw a lot
country,
of inspiration.
soul, gospel,
Yeah.
blues, jazz, all American music.
I know.
And country is just one of those like great American art forms that
People don't put on the forefront as much.
it's like it's a select group of people that like it, but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
super fun music,
Yeah.
and the people are very talented that make it. It takes a whole machine to make that stuff happen.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Well, I'll have to come. I've been meaning to catch you guys play at Phantom Power sometimes.
Hopefully we'll
wanna
be back
come.
soon.
Yeah, I
I'm
want to
hoping.
check it out.
We'd like to
So-
do a Christmas show somewhere.
Oh,
Country
that-
Christmas.
That would be.
There's
so
a million great
fun.
country Christmas songs.
Oh yeah.
So we'd love to do like a country Christmas thing, maybe down here. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll figure something
Let's
out.
make it happen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So what is next for Budget Wax? What do you have going on lately?
I guess a little bit more of the same. I'm pretty busy here with like running sound and things. We have a busy fall coming up with the shows, as long as COVID,
Wear your mask. Do
as
your
long as
part.
COVID holds off, and we do the best we can with shows. But other than that, just more of the same, like twiddling around with my knobs and my pads, as my wife Steph likes to say.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're always playing with your knobs." Yeah. So
That's
more of
awesome.
that. It's
Yeah.
mostly on my days off kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like I did the little EPs, they're like 3 or 4 songs,
Mhm.
just to kind of keep things coming.
Yeah.
I do it that way just because sometimes it's tough to have an idea for the continuity's sake. It just
Mhm.
sounds like sporadic stuff.
Right.
I was like, these are just sporadic things
These are
I've
little-
done, but I like it.
Right.
I
The
don't want
little
them to just
nuggets.
I don't want to get thrown away.
Right.
So that's kind of what the idea with those are. That's why they're just like number 1,
Right.
number 2,
Yeah.
number 3. Keep it pretty
But-
non-specific.
But your fans, the community appreciates it. So
Awesome. Well,
it's
thank you.
awesome to see. So
I appreciate
thank you
it.
so much for joining me. You
course.
guys tune into Budget Wax. He's doing some cool things. Go check him out on Instagram, Spotify, all the streaming platforms that you can find. He's there.
Listen.